Tell me, why this book now? I mean, you're giving the secrets basically of what built Bridgewater, a lot of the principles of how you've grown that company from one of the top 5 most successful companies in the United States, private companies. Why now? Why are you sharing this now? And why the level of depth that you're giving here?
Well, first, I'm doing it to help other people be successful. I didn't originally want to even be public about these
No, you're a very private man. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. Well, what happened in 2011, because we made a lot of money in the financial crisis, we got a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And we have a very unusual way of operating, and that makes us successful.
Yes.
And it got attention, and so that led me to put these principles that we're operating by on out.
Yes.
And 3 million people, 3.5 million people downloaded them, and I got a lot of thank you notes and so on.
Yes.
And now I'm at a stage in my life where I'm moving from the second stage of my life to the third stage of my life.
Yes.
I believe basically, I think of it as we're operating in 3 stages. In the first stage, you're dependent on others,
Yep.
and you're working. In the second stage of your life, others are dependent on you, and you're working. Then you're trying to be successful.
Yes.
As you move into this third stage, the greatest thing that you could do, and you know it so well,
Yes.
is to help others to be successful.
Yes.
So my joy is not to be successful anymore.
Yeah.
It is to help others be successful. And this is my year of transition, 2017.
Wow.
Is that year of transition. So I wanted to take that compendium and pass it along. These are recipes that I've learned over a period of time.
Yes.
Every time I encountered something, and I thought, how would I make a decision? I took the time to write down the criteria that I would use to make that decision.
Yes.
So they became written principles. And then I found that everything changed when I wrote them down, because other people then could look at them and we could say, what are our principles?
Yes.
And we could be clear on what we could be with each other.
And guide all decisions from it.
And all decisions. And then eventually I learned that I could take some of these decisions, all our investment decisions, and a lot of the people decisions, and put them into algorithms.
Yes.
And have the computers make decisions with me. So it changed everything when I wrote them down. So this is basically, think of it almost as a recipe book.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
For if you encounter this thing, here's the principles I wrote for dealing with that thing.
Yes.
And then those have been vetted, and I just figure those people, anybody who reads it, can decide for themselves. Does that make sense or not make sense? Because I don't want people to follow my principles. I want people to know whatever their principles are,
Yes.
to come up with theirs.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to pass them along. And like I'll be asking you later, what are your principles?
Yes.
And let's just get the best principles there that help us. So I felt it was my obligation to do that at this phase of my life.
It's beautiful. Well, it's also by doing it, you leverage yourself. You can have the impact without being there because you're empowering people to know how to make the best decision possible. I always say success is the result of good judgment. You have good judgment, make the right decisions, you're going to succeed. Good judgment is the result often of experience, and experience is often a result of bad judgment, right? As you've learned.
Exactly.